Hi, what's up guys? Gian here of Gadget Pilipinas. Welcome back dito sa ating channel. At ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ay ang bagong-bago na nilabas ni Huawei, and this is the Huawei Nova 7. Medyo kumikinang-kinang pa siya, di ba? But for those of you who are currently confused with the various variants of this series, today we're going to break everything down for you. Before we get started, alam nyo ba na 33% lamang ng mga nanonood ng Gadget Pilipinas ay subscribe sa ating channel? You may want to click that subscribe button and also notification bell para naman alam ninyo na may bago tayong mga videos or kapag tayo ay nag-live sa ating YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. In this video, I'm going to focus on 4 specific things of the Nova 7, and I think that this would, in a way, narrow things down when it comes to comparing it to the other variants of Nova 7. We have the Nova 7i and also the Nova 7 SE. So ano yung mga apat na ito? I'm going to talk about chipset, camera, internal storage, and the lack of expandability of it, and the price of 23,990 pesos. And yes, you're right. This Nova 7 is priced at 23,990. Ngayon, unahin natin yung pinakauna at pinaka-importante sa lahat, which is the chipset, and this is the Kirin 985 that basically powers the Nova 7. This smartphone runs the latest Kirin 985. The Nova 7 SE rocks an older chipset, and that is actually using a Kirin 810. And Nova 7 SE runs on a newer one, which is Kirin 820. Now, in terms of frequency differences, you can see that the Kirin 985 has one core of 2.58 GHz, and a 3-core 2.40 GHz, and a 4-core 1.84 GHz. Meanwhile, if you compare it with the Kirin 820, which basically powers the Nova 7 SE, that one is powered by 1-core 2.36 GHz and 3-core of 2.22 GHz, 4-core of 1.84 GHz. Now, if you go now to the Kirin 7, not Kirin 7i, but Nova 7i, which I actually reviewed a few days ago, that one is powered by Kirin 810. And Kirin 810 includes the following things. It has 2-core, 2.27 GHz, and it has a 6-core, 1.88 GHz. As you can see, Kirin 985 has higher clock rate compared to the other chipsets, which basically gives Nova 7 more raw processing power in the lot. So ibig sabihin, it should perform better, but I should be able to see that when it comes to artificial and also sa aming mga gameplay benchmarking. We'll be using a different kind of benchmarking tool in the next few days. So makikita nyo po yan when we post our full review and maybe our next feature video about the Nova 7. Since also it has 4 cores that operates at 1.84 GHz, we can expect it to be more power efficient as well. Ibig sabihin nito is that there would be times that it will not be needing a lot of clock speed. Kasi nga naman, hindi naman sa pagkakataon ay kailangan lagi na overpowered yung smartphone. So there would be times that it will be using only lower clock speeds. Nang sa ganon is it will also be in a way power efficient as much as possible. Now, probably you already know this, but ang SoC is not just composed of processors. Kasama rin dito pati yung GPU. And when it comes to GPU, this one is powered with a Mali G77 GPU. And if you compare that with the Nova 7 SE, yun naman ay may Mali na G57, and the Nova 7i naman is Mali G52. Those are actually older GPU sets by ARM. And I think if you are looking at something that is really for gaming, then you go or you settle with the 57 or with the G77, which is in the Nova 7. So, ibig sabihin lang nito is that if you wish to play games, and if you're comparing or if you're thinking about getting the slightly cheaper Nova 7 SE, and if you compare this naman with the Nova 7, then you might as well get na lang Nova 7 because that one has better performing, theoretically speaking, na G77. But, I would recommend that you consider, or you may also want to check out our full review soon before you buy anything. Now, at this point, let me now move on to the next one, which is camera. Definitely, the camera on the Nova 7 is way better compared to the Nova 7i. It bears almost the same camera specs, however, compared to the Nova 7 SE, with a slight bump of having 8-megapixel telephoto lens, but with the absence of lens dedicated for bokeh. So, wala siyang ganoon, no? I think it's a good trade-off, but I'd love to see how it actually differs when it comes to portrait shots. Doon magkakaiba yan, no, sa portrait shots, because itong bago, si Nova 7, does not have something dedicated for bokeh in exchange of a telephoto lens. And that's something we will see in our sample photos pretty soon. I didn't actually get a chance to review naman the Nova 7 SE, so wala akong way to actually compare the difference between the two. So, you can take my word for it probably when I say that this is better than the Nova 7i, because obviously it is better than Nova 7i. Pero I would recommend that you go and check out our sample photos once it's out. Now we move on from camera performance to internal storage and expandability. I think this is something that needs to be addressed. It is actually the difference in terms of internal storage on the Nova 7 5G. And actually, if you compare this with the Nova 7 SE and also Nova 7i, those two devices have expandability options, meaning you can put memory cards there. But if you compare this with the Nova 7, wala, no? 256 gig internal and that's it. You cannot upgrade that. You cannot even put any micro SD. And that is something that somehow some people are kind of not comfortable in dealing with. Now, the lack of expandability of the Nova 7 5G, bumawi naman siya sa speed of the internal storage. This one has a UFS 3.0 and it's actually the new standard for flagship devices. Flagship, no? So, ibig sabihin you're getting a flagship's level speed of internal storage on a high mid-range device, and that is the Nova 7 5G. And if you compare that with the Nova 7i and even the Nova 7 SE, if I'm not mistaken, I think those two are only UFS 2.1 or UFS 2.0. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that. But insofar as the Nova 7 is concerned, this one is way faster because it has UFS 3.0. Lastly, let's talk about the price. This one is actually slightly pricier by 4,000 pesos compared to the Nova 7 SE 5G. You're basically paying more in exchange of a higher processor, GPU, camera, depends how you see it, and also faster internal storage. I think, guys, the price is just right given the fact that this one is 5G ready. That means that you'll be able to download games and movies much faster compared to devices with only 4G signal. Now, for those of you who are still doubting about the capability of 5G, 5G isn't actually rolled out yet in the Philippines, and telcos have been very aggressive when it comes to rolling this out. In fact, we received news the other day that Smart is going to roll out their 5G signal soon. I think in the month of August. At yung pala, na-realize din namin, yung palang 5G na nakukuha namin ng sagap ng paminsan-minsan, ay hindi pa pala yun yung full-blown na 5G that we are really accustomed to know. And I'd like to also mention the fact that nowadays, downloading on a Huawei device is much easier. This time because of apps like AppGo and Huawei Petal search widget. I've actually covered a lot of these things in the past in my videos and articles. So if you're considering Huawei as part of your probably next purchase, if you are considering it though, you can go and check out in the links below rather, if you want to know more about Petal search widget and also AppGo. So what now? Huawei Nova 7 is not yet the final form of the Huawei Nova 7 series or variants. We still have Nova 7 Pro. But I don't know if Huawei will be bringing that to the Philippines given the fact that medyo palapit na yung panahon na naglo-launch sila ng Huawei Mate series. Remember that time we went to Germany and we covered Huawei Mate series. Andito malapit na yun eh. So I think if you're someone who is looking for a device that's mid-range or maybe high mid-range that can perform like that can be at par in terms of performance sa mga flagship devices, then you might want to go and check this out. Again, as I mentioned, you may want to wait for our full review as well, and also check out our benchmarks pretty soon on our website. We will be publishing them. And as always, I would like to thank you for supporting Gadget Pilipinas. And if you haven't subscribed to the page, I would love it if you can subscribe and click that notification bell. This has been Gian of Gadget Pilipinas. Maraming salamat sa panonood, and I'll catch you in the next one.